Hello and good morning. It's a cold 8 o'clock morning in Venice train station. I'm here in Venice, Italy, spending some time with my wife, taking time out of our normal routine to spend some time just living our life and thinking about our life and thinking about going forward and then thinking about the things that we want to happen and make happen in our lives and how we want to live our lives. We've been having a great time. Being here in the train station has reminded me about a time when I was on a journey on a train going to London. I'm sat in a carriage, going along, heading towards London, having a nice time, looking out the windows and, just watching the world go by. And we stopped at the next station and in got a young guy with 3 young children in tow. And as they got into the carriage, the young guy just slumped in a seat and just looked down. And that's how he spent his journey, just his head down, uninterested in life, and he certainly wasn't interested in his children. And his children, 3 young children, were going wild in the carriage. They were just running around everywhere, screaming and shouting and jumping on the chairs and jumping from chair to chair. And as the journey progressed, this guy just sat there with his head down like this, taking no interest in his children, not looking out for them or their welfare or concerned about the other passengers and me in particular, getting a little bit upset about things, because the peace and quiet had been eroded, and this guy didn't seem to pay no attention as the journey went on. I started hating on this guy. I started thinking and looking at him and thinking, you must surely be the worst father, the worst parent that I've ever seen. Do you not care about what's happening? Do you not care about the fact that you're upsetting myself and all these other good passengers on the train? And I was starting to think about him, and the journey went on to the next stop and nothing changed. The kids were just the same. The man was just looking down. And when it got to the next station, I just couldn't contain myself, any longer. I just had enough. And I just had to say something to him. And I said, excuse me, mate. And I looked at him and I said, what is your problem? Do you understand what's happening? You are upsetting myself and everyone else in this carriage by the way that your children are acting. Surely, as a parent, you should be doing something about this. Now, the guy, he looked at me and he lifted his head up and he said, I know. I'm really, really sorry, he said. But we've just come from the hospital and their mother's died. He said, and I don't know how to act, and I don't know how my children know how to react. We're just trying to just get through the day. Now, as he said that to me, I felt an immediate change inside me of wanting to go from not liking this guy and wanting to talk him down to wanting to really help him and put my arm around his shoulder and say, okay, mate, don't worry about it, and offer to look after the children and the other passengers in the carriage who'd heard the conversation. They wanted to look after the children, and all we felt was just love for this guy. We wanted him to get through his day. If you felt that wasn't a true story, I made it up. But if you felt at that moment when I said to you that he said to me his children just died, you experienced an experience in you, a change in your attitude, a change in your outlook towards that guy. You had a paradigm shift, that's the posh word for it, a major change in your thinking, where you changed from a negative stance to a positive stance. And I just want to put to you that if you're in your life and you're unhappy with your life, you're unhappy with the job that you're in, with the relationship that you're in, or with life in general, then you need to have some change in your life and you need to experience change and make change happen for you. And I'd like to put to you that the most serious and significant change that needs to happen in your life is in you, in your mentality. You need to have a paradigm shift in your mentality, in the way that you're thinking, because for many of us, life conditions us to think negatively, and we look at situations in the negative and we look for what we can get out of life, what we can take for life, and we can get down and down and down about it. Actually, what we need to do is change our mentality. If you're unhappy at this present time, try changing you. Before you change anything, before you change your relationship, before you change your life, think about you and make a change in your mentality. Have a paradigm shift in your mentality. Start to train your brain to think in the positive, to dispel all the negative, to banish worry and anxiety from yourself. Not easy to do, but it can be done, or at least minimize it. We tend to maximise the negative and minimise the positive. You need to live life in the flip. Flip everything. Just flip the negative into a positive. And no matter how bad your situation is, and I really mean no matter how bad things come your way, there is always a positive, because if you look for something, you'll always find something. And if you pick up on that positive and you major on it, then you can become happier than you currently are. In life, in your relationship, in your job. If you're unhappy, stop trying to take from it. Stop trying to take from that relationship and take from that job. Start giving. Be the blessing in the job. Be the blessing in the relationship. Be the blessing in life to the strangers you meet, to the people you love the most. And if you start to give to life, if you start to be the blessing, as I said in the earlier film, the law of attraction will kick in, because life, it gives to the giver, but it does take from the taker. So start giving. Live life in the flip. Have a paradigm shift. Have a great day. This is my last day in Venice, and again, we're planning, we've got the mentality, we're going to have a fantastic day. So you, please, today, have a fantastic day. If you're not as happy as you can be, just try and flip it. Have that paradigm shift and make things happen for you. It can be done. Happiness is a bug. It can be caught, and once it's caught, it can be trained and taken and developed to a higher and higher level. So have a happy day. Have a happy life. Great. See you later. Bye.